हेलो फ्रेंड्स एंड वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। तो आज का टॉपिक होने वाला है फोर्स एंड मोशन, विच इज़ अ टॉपिक ऑफ फिजिक्स. नाउ let's talk about what is state of motion and rest. Now a body is said to be in state of motion when its position is changes continuously with time with respect to a fixed point of surrounding, and a body is said to be in state of rest when its position does not change with time respect to a fixed point in its surrounding. Basically, when things are in rest and they are not moving, they are in state of rest. And when there are things that are moving, for like us humans, we are kicking a ball and we are running. Basically, when something is in motion, then it is known as it is in state of motion. Now, examples of bodies in motion are like birds, plane, car. And examples of bodies at rest is buildings, trees, etc. Excuse me. Yeah. So what is relative motion and absolute rest? Now, in the example that was given in the previous slide, we saw that the building serves as a reference for the motion of the car. That is, if we become an observer and stand by the side of the building and watch both car and the road, then we can tell that the car is changing the position. Thus, relative motion is stated with respect to some reference. Basically, what was told here was like, here is the building and here is the road and the cars are going. So, if I am standing right here, so if I watch both the building and the car, I can tell that the car is moving. So, relative motion means that we tell that the thing is it in motion, is it moving, by comparing two things. We are the observer, we take the building as a reference, and we want to know that is the car moving. Now the building is not moving because we are seeing it, and if we compare the building to the car is obviously changing the position. That means the car is moving. Basically, relative motion means comparing two things and then getting to know which one of these were in the motion. Like, I'm standing here, here is the building, here's the road, and the cars are going on the road. I'm seeing the building is not moving, it is a reference. I'm seeing the car and it is changing position. So with the reference of the building, I have come to know that the car is moving. This is what relative motion is. Basically, comparing it with two things and then getting to know is it in motion. Now, what is that absolute rest? Absolute rest means something when it is completely at rest, like completely not moving at all, and there is no thing on earth that is completely at rest. That is absolute. That is at absolute rest. There is no thing in the whole world that is at absolute rest, because everything that is in our world is in earth, and earth itself is moving. It is rotating and revolving. Our earth itself is moving around the sun. Then if the earth is only moving, how can anything be at absolute rest? Now, that is that. And now let's talk about motion and rest. Now, motion is a change of position of a body over a period of time with respect to a stationary object, and body is said to be at rest if position does not change over a period of time. Now it is simple. I am walking and you can see that I am changing position, but this comb right here, it is just kept. It is at rest because it's not moving. But this is not at absolute rest, because nothing can be at absolute rest, because the earth is always moving. Now, let us talk about types of motion. So, first type of motion is translatory motion. Second type is circular motion. Third is oscillatory motion. And fourth and the last one is vibratory motion. I will tell about all these four motion, but first let me tell that there are two types of translatory motion also. So now first let us know what is translatory motion. So translatory motion is basically if the body is moving same distance and in same time. So basically and it has to be like same distance, like it has to be like straight, like an apple falling for a tree. Now as I told you, there are two types of motion which are the type of translatory motion only. Now they are rectilinear motion and curvilinear. Rectilinear and curvilinear motion. Now first let us know about these two motion and then we'll move on. Now if a body moves in a straight line, its motion is known as a rectilinear motion. Like a apple is falling and we are like an apple falling from a tree and we are walking just like in a straight line. And now if a body moves along a curved path, it is have to undergone curvilinear motion. For example, throwing a ball. Like I threw a ball and it went like this in a curved pattern. That is known as curvilinear motion. Now you must have observed that in both of them it is going at the same distance. You must have like it was told in the translatory motion. You must have observed that, right? So basically that's why they both come in the category of translatory motion. Now it goes through the same distance and the same interval of time. Okay, now let us talk about circular motion. Now the motion of a body in a circular path around a fixed axis is called circular motion. Now basically, like if you take those spinning toys, which you can also see here in the picture, if they are going in a circular path, they are rotating over there only, but they have a fixed point. Now if we talk about the orbit of the earth, which you can see in one of the picture, it is going in a circular path, but it has a fixed point, which is the orbit. It cannot like go like everywhere. Now what is oscillatory motion? In simple words, we can say oscillatory motion is like going of back and forth, like a swing. You are swinging on a swing, and that is oscillatory motion, because in a swing you're basically going back and forth. And like in a pendulum, in the clock of a like in the pendulum, that is also basically going back and forth. So now let's get know the definition. The back and forth motion of a body that takes place about a mean point or a fixed point is called oscillatory motion. Now let us talk about vibratory motion. Now a motion in which a part of the body goes under oscillatory motion and the remaining body is at rest, that is called vibrating motion. Now the best example for this is when you're playing drums. Now what happens that the drum is at rest, so like, but the sticks that you are playing with are in oscillatory motion because they are going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, again and again. So a part of the drum, which are the sticks, they are going in the oscillatory motion, but the drum is not. It is at rest. So that is known as vibratory motion. Now let us talk about force. So force, as we used to say, a push and a pull. Now force is the physical cause which can change the state of rest or state of motion. Now basically it is like force is basically which we call a push and pull. It can change a state of motion and a state of rest. It can either stop it or started. Now let us, we'll come to that later when we come to effects of force. Now let us talk about types of forces. So there are two types of forces, which is our contact forces and non-contact forces. So first let us know what are contact forces. Contact forces are when the object that is to be moved requires an agent to apply force on it through physical contact to move it. Basically, if I take this mouse, so if like the mouse is kept here, and to move it I need to touch it, which is the physical contact. So to move this I need to apply physical contact, physical force to move it. Now this is contact force, in which the mouse and my hand is coming in contact, physical contact. So that is contact force. And what is non-contact force? Forces that don't require any physical contact, they are non-contact force. For example, gravitational force and a magnetic force. Now if you throw a ball up, you applied force and you throw the ball up. Now to like bring the ball down, it is not like that you throw a ball and the ball is stuck in the air. It comes back, no. And to bring it back, you don't have to push it from above. It falls down on its own due to gravity. That is gravitational force. And you do not need to touch the ball. You do not need to do any physical contact with the ball to bring it down when you throw it. So that is an example of non-contact forces. Now effects of forces. Now force can change the state of rest or state of motion, or it can start or stop motion. Like I said, a ball, like I kick the ball and it is going. Now if someone else touches the ball and like puts its hand on it, so it is stopped. So basically it can start and stop motion. And it can change the speed or direction of a moving object, or change both at the same time. Now if the ball is going very fast and someone keeps a leg on it, now it is stopped. And if the ball is, I kick the ball and someone kicks the ball again from that side, now the ball is going in that direction, the direction is changed. Now force can also change the shape and or the size of the body. Now if we talk about for example clay, you apply force on it and its shape keeps on changing. Like you are making something else, sometimes you're making a long stick, sometimes a short one. So force can change the shape or size of the body. Now this was all in this video. Thanks for watching this video. I will be posting more videos like this, so stay tuned, and I will be posting more video. Until then, like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll meet you in the next video. तब तक के लिए टाटा, and meet you in the next video.